That's not some line from a movie. That's a real person, right now, trying to make a life for themselves. And if hearing that makes something in your gut clench, good. You're in the right place. We have to talk about this. So let's get one thing straight, right from the jump. Your financial struggle, it isn't a personal failure. It's a feature of the system, not a bug. You're not playing the game wrong. The game itself is rigged. And in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how. Oh, you've heard it, right? I've heard it. It's the constant soundtrack for our entire generation. We're lazy, entitled, unmotivated. We're the generation that just doesn't want to work. That's the official story, the narrative they're pushing. And get this, they think they have the numbers to back it up. A whopping 75% of managers say Gen Z is difficult to work with. You know what they mean by difficult, right? We set boundaries, we demand a life outside of a spreadsheet, and to them, that's a threat. Okay, so let's be brutally honest here. They're not completely wrong. We are hard to work with, but only if the work is specifically designed to break you, to suck every last bit of energy out of you for a paycheck that barely covers rent. So yeah, the problem isn't us. The problem is the work itself. All right, first things first. Let's take a flamethrower to the biggest myth of them all. This idea that millions of us just woke up one day and collectively decided to be lazy. It's such a convenient lie, isn't it? And it completely falls apart the moment you look at the real story. So they say entitled and unmotivated. You know what the reality is? We're burned out and underpaid. That's it. This isn't some grand crisis of character. It's a fundamentally bad deal. We're not asking for a mansion. We're just asking to survive without having a complete breakdown. And if you think burnout is just some trendy buzzword, check this out. 68%. More than 2/3 of Gen Z workers say they're burned out. That's not laziness. That's a canary in a coal mine. It's a symptom of a system that's running on empty, demanding everything from us and giving back scraps. See, this has nothing to do with work ethic. It's about something I call the paycheck sieve. Just picture it. You grind out 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours a week. Your paycheck finally hits your bank account, but it's like you're pouring it into a sieve. All that money just drains right out the bottom. Why? Because of stagnant wages, insane inflation, rent that's through the roof. There's nothing left. And what's the result of that? Look at this number. 74% of workers are living paycheck to paycheck. That's not a bunch of people who need to budget better. That is a full-blown systemic crisis. You're not lazy. You're just exhausted from trying to fill a bucket that's got a giant hole in the bottom. And that, of course, brings us to their other favorite lie. Myth number 2. You're just bad with money. Oh, you know this one. Just stop buying lattes. Cancel Netflix. If you just skipped that avocado toast, you'd own a home by now. It's not just insulting, it's a complete distraction from the real problem. They told us a college degree was the golden ticket, right? The key to everything. Well, here's what they don't want you to know. It's not a ticket, it's a hostage situation. You get that piece of paper, and bam, it's attached to a massive ball and chain made of student debt. You're trapped before you even get your first real job. And what's the payoff? You do everything right, you get the credentials, and then you face this. This is a real quote from someone with a bachelor's degree. Rejected by Taco Bell and Sam's Club. The promise was a total lie. Your degree is basically the new high school diploma, except this one costs as much as a house. And don't even get me started on their favorite fairy tale, the corporate ladder. Newsflash, that ladder is broken. The rungs were sawed off and sold for parts years ago. This whole fantasy of paying your dues and loyalty being rewarded, that's a ghost story they tell to keep you in line. So, okay, the old rules are a joke. The paths they laid out are dead ends. So what's the move? It's simple. You stop playing their game. You start writing a new playbook. And this isn't about being lazy or entitled. It's a completely rational rebellion against a system that is fundamentally broken. Remember when quiet quitting became a thing? The entire corporate world lost its mind. They acted like it was the end of civilization. But what does it actually mean? It means you're doing your job, the job you were hired and are paid to do. You're just quitting the unpaid, unwritten second job of going above and beyond for a company that would have your position posted online before your body was cold. And that was just the beginning. Now we have a whole arsenal of survival tactics. Quiet quitting, bare minimum Mondays just to preserve your own sanity, job hopping, not because we're disloyal, but because it's literally the only way to get a real raise anymore, and demanding flexibility. You know, the kind of flexibility we've had the technology for over a decade. These aren't character flaws. They're smart, strategic adaptations to a hostile environment. So when you see a number like this, 46% of Gen Z planning to quit their jobs, and you hear them call it disloyalty, I want you to correct them. It's not disloyal. It's strategic. It's understanding that staying in one place means your salary stagnates. The only way to get paid what you're actually worth is to leave. And here's the truth bomb they absolutely do not want you to hear. Company loyalty is supposed to be a two-way street, but they turned it into a dead end. They demand loyalty from you, but what do they offer in return? Pensions? Huh, gone. Job security? Are you kidding me? It's a one-way relationship, and we're finally seeing it. So I really need you to let this sink in. That constant stress, that feeling of burnout, the sense that you're always behind no matter how hard you run. None of that is your fault. This isn't an accident. This is the system working exactly as it was designed to get the most out of you for the least amount of money. It's not broken. This is by design. And all of this leads us to the one question that really matters. The old rules are shattered. The promises they made were lies. The entire game is rigged against us. So why are we still playing by their rules?